I used to spend like crazy. Now I spend 15% of my income and have a 60% savings slash investment rate. If you're watching this video, it probably means that you're spending more than you'd like to as well. Maybe you'd like to save up for a house, for retirement, for travel, whatever it is. By the end of this video, you'll be a huge step closer to that goal just by using the simple equation that I'm about to show you. This isn't like a mental hack or a mindset shift. It's really a tangible thing that you can do from now on to get better at finances. These days, spending money is so easy. You just tap your little card on a machine or your phone, and you have a brand new designer bag or a laptop that you didn't need. And since this makes it super hard to actually see the value of our money, it's really hard not to spend it. So let me give you the equation that changed everything for me. This right here is what I call the freedom cost equation. Now, we're not in math class, so I'll simplify it for you, but first you need to understand that money is not really the currency that we use. As working class people, our real currency is our time. If I make 30 bucks an hour and I buy this $15 mug, the mug didn't actually cost me $15. It cost me 30 minutes of my hard working time. So the first thing is stop thinking about money and start thinking about time. But overall, I think this concept is pretty well known and it doesn't really do a good job of showing us the actual gravity of our spending problem, because we can all afford to work a couple more hours. But in my opinion, I think the real shift happens not when you realize you're spending your time, but really it happens when you realize you can buy your time back. Here's exactly what I mean. If every dollar you spend is a piece of your time, then that amount of money is time that you won't have to work again in the future. Spending that $15 didn't just cost you 30 minutes of your time. It actually cost you everything that $15 could have become for you in the future. And I'm willing to bet that that's more than you think. And that's where the equation comes in. If instead of spending that $15, you would have invested it in an index fund at about a 10% return rate annually, which is pretty average, by the way, that tiny decision of spending $15 becomes huge. Let's do the math here. So let me just replace the amount invested by $15, because that's the amount that we're going to use. And we're going to replace the amount of years by 30, because I'm a pretty young guy. That would bring me to about 50 years old. Now, for this example, like I said, my hourly wage is $30. So we'll just input 30 here. And let's do the equation on this calculator here. So that brings us to 523 minutes of your time, or over 8 hours. So a full day of work. That means that that $15 lip gloss actually costs your future self a full extra day at work. Pretty crazy, right? Most people look at spending like this. Well, it's only 15 bucks, or it's only 30 minutes of my time. But the question we should ask ourselves is, how much freedom will that cost to my future self? Because when you start to see money as stored time and investing as a way of buying it back, then your brain just completely changes the way that it treats purchases. Now, I know that's kind of a lot to process. The equation's pretty complicated. So here's exactly what to do to put that into practice and to start spending less from tomorrow. In a simple way, by the way, because that's the goal of this whole thing, is to make you spend less. So I'm not gonna try to make your life more difficult. So step one, take a piece of paper and write down the equation. I'm gonna put it back on screen for you, and then just take a picture of that. And step three, whenever you see something that you'd like to buy, but that you think you don't necessarily need, because we both know you probably don't need that $200 pair of shoes, pull out your phone, go to the calculator app, and enter the price of the item at the amount invested spot. So for example, oh, there's this $200 pair of shoes that I would like. Let me just pull out my phone. Turns out that this $200 pair of shoes cost me exactly, let me just check it. It cost me 116.3 hours of my future self's freedom. So that means that in the future, in order to afford this pair of shoes, I'm gonna have to work 14 more days just to buy them. Now, the question is, would you do 14 days of overtime to buy a pair of shoes? I know that I wouldn't. I don't know about you. I don't know if those are your dream shoes or whatever, but the point is, if the answer is no, I wouldn't spend that amount of time at work just to buy this item, then just don't buy it. It's really that simple. And you just have to take the time to calculate everything, and you actually realize that this purchase is pretty dumb. Now, the only important part that's left is that if you want this whole equation to work, well, you have to actually invest your money. Actually, that's the most important part, because if you don't, it won't grow. If you're Canadian, I put a link in the video description of a tutorial that I made on how to use Wealthsimple, which is the app that I use for investing. It makes investing really easy and really fun. It's for people who haven't started investing but also for people who are investing at the moment, but would just like to have a better way to do it by themselves and have less of a management fee from their bank or their financial advisor or whatever. Now, if you're not a Canadian, I don't know exactly what the best apps are out there for you, but I highly advise you to look into it and look into index funds, because they're going to make the whole equation work, because your money is actually going to grow over time and you'll be able to buy your future self freedom. So next time you think of buying something that you don't need, remember this video, remember what I told you, maybe come back to it if you need, but please, please, please do not spend your hard-earned freedom on material goods. It's just not worth it. So let me know in the comments if this helped you at all. And by the way, I'm just trying out different types of videos. I'm kind of starting the channel a little bit. But yeah, I think this channel is really heading towards my own reflections, just speaking out loud about what I think about the world, about business, about finance, anything really. But also some videos just like this one where I kind of show you how I approach personal finance, how I approach business, and yeah, just stuff that I think could help you guys. So if you enjoyed the video, let me know, and yeah, see you guys next week.